In a recent YouTube poll, 1,000 of you voted and you wanted to see more Poppy Playtime. So today we are drawing Poppy Playtime and the prototype in 6 different styles. Let's get to it. I was thinking about doing 8 different styles, but when I thought about it, 6 just fit the page better. So we're going to start off with the neon effect. Now, for all you young artists at home, something that I like to do with the neon effect is to always outline the area first. That way, when we put the black down here, it's easier to see the lines and to copy them over. But I do want to showcase something for you very important. You see how I'm using my acrylic paint pens here, going very slowly, and that's for a reason. This is at speed. That's how you get these really smooth, even coverages with your paint pens. Do not go quick. You'll wind up scraping the paper or scraping all the paint that's underneath and getting a nice muddy black paint pen, and we don't want that. Work evenly, work slowly, and you'll get better smooth coverage a heck of a lot easier. Now, if you're a fan of gaming art or just a fan of art in general, then please do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe button so you never miss out on another drawing that I'll do, and you'll never miss out on another character that I like to transform. With the neon effect complete, we are now going to head on over to the cracked effect, and this is a style that I really love, mainly because I created it. The whole concept is you're trying to make it look like cracked stone, like a relief image that's been cracked away from time. And how we're going to do that is by focusing on the line work. We want to add all these little embellishes and all these little wrinkles of cracked lines with all of the ink that we're going to do, and that's going to accentuate the cracks and the bevels within the page. And the cool thing about this is you don't really have to be super artistic to do it. It's basically a simple coloring after you've set up the areas where all the crack marks are going to be. Another reason why I really like this style is because you can make it as realistic or as cartoony as you like. And you don't even need all of the best art supplies in the world to create the cool image that you see before you. But when the effect is complete, it looks amazing. And you can add as many or as little crack marks as you want. The details are up to you. Do as much or as little as your heart contents. And now for something we haven't done in a really long time, we're going to head on over into the world of the Marvel Universe. And for people who always say, how do I get better at art? Books are always still a great resource because you can see it, but you can also flip through it and work through it. This book I have used for decades, and it will help you get better as an artist. I will leave it as a link that you can use as an affiliate link if you want to purchase it. If you're a beginner artist or if you just want to learn how to draw Marvel and comic characters, this is the way. But if you want to have some quick tips to help you out, then continue watching here, because what we're going to do is focus on the inking. The inking is incredibly important when you think about Marvel. Marvel has a much more textured look. DC is a much more realistic look with their inking. Marvel tends to use very thick, bold patterns within the muscle and the shadows. So that's what we want to highlight, because the prototype isn't a muscular creature, it's a robotic creature. So we have to think about where the shadows are and where all of our hatch lines are going to be to represent the 3 dimensions. These little lines, that's basically what you would consider your blending. It's to showcase not always the darkest areas, but where the little highlights and the basically shadows would be. And when you're done determining where all your colors and your shadows are going to be, all you gotta do is a simple color in, and gives it that traditional Marvel look and feel. Now that we have the Marvel effect complete, we'll have the video explain what it is.
I'm sticky sweet, stuck in your teeth like cotton candy.
That's right, I'm bringing back the cotton candy effect, and essentially what we want to do is have that really soft, velvety look that cotton candy has, that airy quality to it in these beautiful fluorescent fuchsia colors. That is going to be quintessentially what the cotton candy style is. And I can't take credit for this one. This was actually a comment in one of my lives by Studio Art. So if you don't know who Studio Art is, well, one, he's a tremendously talented young artist, but he basically inspired me to try to do something in a cotton candy style with cotton candy colors, and the style for me has stuck, and you all have loved it, so I'm bringing it back. Now that we have our cotton candy colors done, we're going to head on over to the ooze effect. Before we begin the ooze effect, I want to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart, and that is my book. This was my journey before even my YouTube career began, and it's something that's near and dear to my heart. I'm an author at heart because I'm a storyteller at heart, and that's a lot of times when I design these characters, it's what I think about, and it's something that I absolutely love. If you're a fan of Harry Potter or Percy Jackson, you're absolutely going to love this book. And if you would like to purchase it, I'll drop that in the description where you can purchase a copy because it is my passion project for what I ultimately would love the channel to be. Now let's talk about the ooze effect. And basically, this is a cartoon version of the drip, but with slimier textures. Essentially what we want to do is take the drip effect and make it a little bit more realistic, a little bit more slimier with highlights and shadows. We're not just going to do these big blobby drips. It's going to basically look like the prototype's been melted or slimed over. And how we're going to do that is focusing on two things. One, translucence with alcohol markers, as you're going to see here, but also popping in just super rich highlights and shadows with paint pens. But we're going to use a two-toned highlight system. You're going to see here, we're going to have the initial highlights, but then just popping in the brightest of little highlights. That's really going to make it look like it's just super wet and juicy. And now, let's make it super realistic for Poppy. I am not normally a fan of hair or hair textures when it comes to characters, or mechanical for that reason. I struggle with it immensely. But for this particular section, it came so easy. And I think I know why, because when I tend to do some of my realistic characters, they have a plasticine or porcelain look, which works well because Poppy is a porcelain doll. Same thing with my metallics. They tend to look a little too fake or synthetic, which once again works in my favor. But one of the tips for Poppy, because her hair is so curly and braided, we're going to use little swirling textures with our alcohol markers in multiple layers, and that's how we're going to get these wonderful three-dimensional blends and these three-dimensional aspects of her curly hair. By working slowly and continuously blending layer upon layer upon layer of alcohol marker, that's how we get this really cool hair texture. And then we're going to finish off with just a subtle amount of color pencil work by just flicking in just the subtlety of highlight and not too much. That's what really makes that hair just look like riffled little hair of a doll. I kept the face overall fairly muted. I did not go into too much detail, mainly because I didn't want it to distract from the hair. To me, the hair was a very important factor, and so I wanted that to kind of stand out. I mean, her big red hair is very iconic for her character. That and her eyes, because they almost, even though they're doll eyes, they almost feel anime. So I really wanted to make sure that that was the focal point, was the eyes that are meeting each other in the concept of the drawing and the hair. It's kind of what draws the whole image into the center, is the two meeting off when he's holding her. So I really wanted to make sure that was present. Now, let me ask you, what was your favorite section? Let me know in the comments, and as always, thank you all for stopping by, and I'll see you all in the next video.